Folks, welcome to another edition of my video blog. Today we're going to discuss what happens at a BMV hearing and how that differs from a trial. Now, it's important to remember two things in an OUI. First thing is, when you've been arrested, a police report will be generated. That police report will be sent off to two places. One, the Secretary of State, and two, the District Attorney's Office. The District Attorney's Office is the organization or the entity that generates the criminal charges in your case. We're not going to be talking about that today. We're talking about the administrative license suspension that is generated by the Secretary of State. When that license suspension is generated by the Secretary of State, you have an opportunity for a hearing. You must request that hearing within 10 days from the date that you go under suspension. Now, the biggest difference between a trial on a criminal case and a Bureau of Motor Vehicle suspension hearing is the standard of proof. At the BMV hearing, or Bureau of Motor Vehicles, the state just needs to prove two things by a preponderance of the evidence. First, was there probable cause to believe you were operating under the influence? And second, were you a .08 or greater with a breath test? Those are the only two issues. If they can prove both of those issues by a preponderance of the evidence, you lose. Now, what does it mean, the term preponderance of the evidence? Well, it's very different than proof beyond a reasonable doubt. Preponderance of the evidence means this: if I'm on the scale of justice and I tip the evidence ever so slightly in my favor as the state, 51% versus 49%, you lose. It's very difficult to win these hearings. Now, I win them on a fairly regular basis, but at the end of the day, you're probably going to be in a very tough bind and a tough spot to try and win one of these hearings because of the standard of proof. Now, what people don't seem to understand is if you lose the Bureau of Motor Vehicle hearing, but you win the criminal case, that does not undo the suspension from the administrative license suspension that was generated following the loss at a Bureau of Motor Vehicle hearing. Okay? One has no impact on the other because one is a criminal case, the other one is an administrative license suspension. They both deal with the same OUI, but for the most part, they are dealing with totally different issues, and the proof or the standard of evidence in these cases is very different. I welcome you to tune into another episode of my video blog, and we will be discussing more issues concerning OUIs, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you for tuning in.